Out today is the Beatles Abbey Road 50th anniversary reissue. This is what we've all been waiting for. Abbey Road, issued as a super deluxe edition. Now, unlike the White Album and Sgt. Pepper, this comes in a slightly different format. It is a 12-inch square book, which slides into a quite a nice high-quality outer slipcase. It's all glossy. Looks very good, feels very good. The image of the classic album cover and the zebra crossing looks as good as ever. And interestingly, they've done it in a slightly topsy-turvy way. So you pull it out like that, and there's the back cover with all the track listings, etc. Now, just as a reminder, there's 4 discs in this set. So there's a CD with a new Giles Martin stereo remix. There's 2 discs of sessions, and finally there's a Blu-ray audio disc which has a 5.1 surround sound mix and a Dolby Atmos mix and a high-res stereo mix. There's no DVD. There wasn't a DVD in the White Album either. They basically ditched the DVD after Sgt. Pepper, so this is just 4 discs. If you haven't got a Blu-ray player, the question is, why not? It's definitely worth investing. So let's take a look then at the book. This is effectively a book with 4 discs in the inside and the back, inside the back cover, so you can see that in a second. Now the reissue, it has this quite nice attractive blue accent colour which you'll see throughout the book. The first 2 discs you'll see there are the 2019 stereo mix, and underneath it is the Blu-ray audio with the surround mixes and the high-res stereo mix. Now these are done in the now familiar card sleeves. Both of these use the familiar cover. In a minute you'll see that there's some alternate versions of the album cover for the sessions discs. But these are both identical. Interestingly, they choose to list Her Majesty on the track listing. I was rather hoping they wouldn't do that, just for a bit of authenticity, because as most people know, that wasn't listed originally. It was a kind of a surprise track. The discs have the now familiar Apple design on them. There's the other one. So I have a quick flick through the book just to show you. This is nicely done, really. That's quite a familiar image, isn't it? I think when Apple got the Beatles first on iTunes, that was the image that they went with. Yeah, Paul gives a foreword there, and Giles Martin gives you a little bit of an introduction. And as you can see, it's just full of great images. It's not quite at the level of Sgt. Pepper, but you wouldn't really expect it to be honest. Linda was obviously around at this point, hence there's lots of excellent photos. Some nice pictures of tape boxes, etc. And they go through song by song. It's very attractively designed, this with the black and white photos, the blue. You've done a great job. Lots of handwritten lyrics, etc. from the time. Her Majesty, there's about 3 different takes of Her Majesty on the outtakes. Paul's demo of Goodbye for Mary Hopkins sounds very good. Ballad of John and Yoko, of course, this was a non-album single, the Beatles' last UK #1. Famously, only John and Paul played on this. So there's a great outtake on the sessions disc where it's Paul on drums and John Lennon on acoustic guitar. It sounds like they're having quite a bit of fun. Yeah, so this covers the extra tracks, Come and Get It. It's quite familiar. And then a bit here on the actual cover sheet itself, some of the outtakes, etc. That image there is the cover that was used on the Hey Jude album in America. It's a bit sad in a way, because this is obviously the last Beatles album, the last, I imagine they're going to go back, Apple and Universal, but this is kind of the end of the road for studio albums. Next year, I imagine it's looking very much like Let It Be, which was recorded before this, but obviously was released afterwards. These are the other 2 discs, so that's session disc #1. I mean, it made perfect sense to use the outtakes, of course. The other session disc there. So that's it. So in some ways, there's a sort of pleasing simplicity about this set. It's not full of the kind of the knickknacks and that you get in other super deluxe sets, but it's reasonably well priced. It's around the £80 mark, £85 mark. So this slots nicely back in. That's what the spine looks like. It says anniversary edition, interestingly. It doesn't say 50th anniversary edition. I don't think the spines of the other Super Deluxe sets don't actually have anniversary edition written on them. But yeah, there's a certain simplicity about this. There isn't as many outtakes. Certainly the White Album with all those Isha demos, I mean, it doesn't come close to the outtakes for the White Album. But then this was a different kind of scenario. This was the Beatles relatively quickly coming in for one last hurrah. So I think, while there's obviously more in the archive than's on here, I think we would have probably got into the realms of repeating ad infinitum different takes of the same track. So does anyone want all 99 takes of Maxwell's Silver Hammer? Probably not. So this is Paul from Super Deluxe Edition, taking you through the 50th anniversary Super Deluxe of the Beatles, Abbey Road.